What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering and technology wise. In this video, we're going to be covering the impacts that AI is going to have on certain careers and what pathways. So, without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
Industries like healthcare, hospitality, and leisure, but concerns are growing about AI replacing some human workers. Major companies like Microsoft, Walmart, and Business Insider are laying off employees amid the rise of artificial intelligence in the workplace. And business reporter at Axios, Nathan Bomey's here for more on that. Nathan, thanks so much for coming on. Our team has tracked down some spikes in AI-related questions being asked on search engines. And so we wanted to bring you on to get your take and to be able to give responses to some of that. One of the big questions is what jobs you think will be first to go and what layoffs you've seen so far because of AI.
Well, just this week, for example, Procter and Gamble is saying that it'll cut up to 7,000 jobs. Although they did not use the word AI, they used the word digitization and automation. So I think that sounds like AI because the positions that are at most risk are going to be positions that involve a lot of repeatable actions, data entry, data analysis, anything that requires you to sort through all sorts of documents at scale. That's something that AI can do really easily.
Is there a such thing as an AI-proof job?
I think that the most AI-proof jobs are going to be jobs that involve a lot of human interaction because at the end of the day, AI can't really replace those interpersonal aspects of humanity. So just chatting with other people and trying to coordinate, trying to innovate together, those are the actions that I think AI won't really be able to replace. But if it simply involves just rote memorization or
Yeah, I think that's 100% right when it comes to, hey, what jobs are going to be the least impacted? Them being the ones that you have to go out and talk to actual people, some sales positions, other jobs where you have to be able to speak to like some type of architectural jobs, solutions engineering, and things in those kinds of skills where you have to actually talk to the customer itself. You're responsible for talking to the customer, and then you have to go fill out these specific works. I think those are the best jobs that are going to be free and available, that will not be impacted as much. But so here's the thing, right? Any job that's repeatable, you can, or even before AI, as a software engineer, we would look at tasks that we were doing, and that would take more of our engineering time and find out ways to automate them. I talk about these things heavily, not on the channel because it's personal to like the corporate work and everything. But like there's a lot of tasks. If a task becomes too tech debt, it costs way too much tech debt, and it's really easy to just repeat it. We're thinking about ways on how to automate it ourselves. So AI coming in that factor is just streamlining and speeding up what we're already doing in a sense. We weren't waiting for AI to do that. We were doing it in our day-to-day jobs. That's even for our own positions, and we did it so that we can focus on other things and build out other things and build upon them and see just how far we can take it. And we just need to free our hands more. So, what's the best way of doing it? Automating something that's taken a lot of our time away, especially as an engineer, and all of that stuff goes. So when you look at the sales jobs and everything with the human interactions, yeah, somebody might try to do that with robotics or something like that in some sense, but it still doesn't have that human element to it. There's a human element that everybody's going to need. Now, maybe you don't need as many people to do it. It really depends on the scale of the company, the business, and all of the other stuff. But it definitely is going to make a huge difference compared to something that's easily repeatable. You can repeat it really easy. It makes a huge difference because we were doing that without it. Um, so yeah, and even companies, if since we cost a lot, like engineers for a company, we cost a lot of money. If we're spending all of our time doing something that's simple to us now and that we have to repeat on a constant basis, they don't want to pay us for that type of work. They're going to go out and find cheaper work, lower cost labor work, and things in that aspect to do those tasks, or we're gonna have to free up our hands somehow by automating it and writing some type of design around it and figuring out how we're gonna go about all of that. But yeah, those are some of the things just on how AI is going and how we're gonna handle all of that and how we've been handling all of that.
The sort of communication that involves really basic words and phrases, those are the kinds of things that AI can do very easily.
And I want to run you through some specific careers, the ones we got asked about the most, just to get your take on how you think they will be impacted by AI or if they already have been. So kind of a speed round here. Accountants?
Definitely at risk. Accountants are in big trouble because data entry and analysis is very easily done by AI.
Data scientists?
Same thing. I think in some ways that'll be a little bit more insulated, if only because if you can do analysis that the AI can't do, that'll help preserve your job. But again, the AI very good at sorting through numbers and figures.
Radiologists?
What's that?
Radiologists?
Well, I think that medical positions depends on the medical position. I think radiologists are in trouble. But on the other hand, we already have a shortage of medical positions, medical doctors, for example. So I'd be really surprised if we see an uptick in unemployment in the healthcare sector. But I do think the AI is coming for some medical jobs.
This is a big one. What about digital marketers?
Yeah, I think that it probably depends on what kind of digital marketing you're doing. But if you are doing the kind of marketing that simply involves very basic creation of advertisements, that's something that the AI can do because AI is really good at creating visuals now. And so I think if that's all you do, you're going to have to find a way to distinguish yourself.
And what about graphic designers?
Another problem there because creating visuals, creating charts, is something that AI can do really well. For example, you can just feed into it a database and say, please, create a chart based on this, and it can do that pretty well.
Get ahead of this. So many people left other jobs and careers that seem to be floundering to learn things like coding. That was the job of the future, right? Now they're hearing they're going to be replaced by AI. So what skills should people be learning now to try to get ahead of this?
Social skills. It's going to be social skills. And even as an engineer, like, it's not all about coding. I've said this several times, and I've learned this through many different directors and managers and everything, but your social and soft skills are the best skills to have in any position. They're going to get you those referrals. They're going to get people to like you. They're going to get people to work with you, want to work with you. It makes it easier to work with others. It makes it easier to collaborate with them. Those social skills are way more important than your ability to code and stuff like that. And how you know how to navigate different instances and all of that, it all makes a difference. It all makes a difference, and literally no joke at all. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna have to say. For the healthcare system thing, actually, like, their jobs. There's a video that I'm gonna cover soon on this channel about a doctor saying that AI was gonna replace him and everything. I saw the video somewhere, and it's hard for me to believe it. I think AI is gonna make their jobs a lot easier, but in a certain aspect, we still need like expert eyes. There's a reason why people get second opinions from different doctors and get different health advice and stuff. Nobody, if you see something from AI like helping you with a doctor or come up with some type of diagnosis, I think humans are still going to get second opinions on those kinds of information, or how are we going to be able to trust the information fully, especially at this point. So I don't think the healthcare tick will make too much of a difference for actual like doctors and nurses and things like that, especially when you need them to commit a lot of surgeries right now or help out with patients and things. There might be some help with it, as I said, but like if he says we have a shortage, it might just help fill the shortage and all the shortages. But let's see what he has to say.
I think it's a really good point. It was a time when it felt like being a software coder was an insta job, and now we're hearing that maybe you're at risk from AI, and I think you are. I think the lesson here is that you don't really want to go into college or your master's degree and to learn a very specific skill because that could become outdated quickly. What you want to do is to learn how to learn, which means essentially you'll be adaptable no matter where the economy goes because you'll be able to change yourself and adapt to whatever happens in the future, and you'll be able to learn the skills that'll keep you safe from losing your job to AI.
Axio business reporter Nathan Bomey.
So yeah, actually, he took it in a whole different aspect. I said your soft skills and your social skills, but adaptability is such a big thing. And the reason why adaptability is such a good thing is because there used to be periods of times back in the day where some jobs we used more than other jobs. Like people, there used to be more farmers back in the day, or there's used to be a lot more people doing this specific thing. But as society evolved and built up, new jobs were created, so people started moving into different fields and everything. How can you adapt and shift into another field and be able to pick up and learn those kind of skills so that you know where you want to go into? That's more or less where what I would be thinking as far as being adaptable and everything. You have to be able to. It's a talent, because not even everybody can do specific tasks and everything. But AI is going to make it a lot easier for several people to do several different tasks and things from that whole scale. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget, if you have any suggestions and everything, send me an email at devtalkspod@gmail.com. Also in the description down below. Without further ado, peace. See y'all next time.